And we are finally getting back to regularly streaming LOTRO. So, back to Evendim. Nice dawn to herald our arrival. Hi Secret, thanks for fetching a seat in the chat room. Hi Faffy, good to see you too. I saw that you were doing a random stream earlier. Unfortunately I was multitasking way too much to also watch a stream, but I hope that went well. Yay, hi Darth Exhausted, wow. I'm not used to people sort of flooding in at the start, it's quite nice. I had thought with Evendim that we had some quest triggers up at Ost Forod, but I haven't got any chains unstarted, so we'll go do Till Ruinen and see what happens after that. Yay, glad that went well for you, Faffy. What were you actually streaming? I didn't actually catch, because I only saw what it said on Discord, and that didn't actually have... I couldn't see the name of the game in the truncated description, so I'm not sure which game you were actually streaming, or what you were streaming. First Witcher, then Rise. I've not heard of either of those games, but if it went well, that's all that matters. Okay, so this quest giver here, Calathadir, nice short name.
Would you do something?
Triggers the quests up at Till Ruinen. We won't be doing the deeds, but we'll have to kill as many salamanders as it takes to get across the island. And then we'll see what quest chains this one spawns. So I'm pretty sure we should have had some stuff up at Ost Forod, but I don't think we did them last time round. I could be wrong. Hey, let's go do Till Ruinen and see what happens. Have you seen the creatures called salamanders? They are rather akin to worms, but seem to me to be an entirely new breed of creature. We've not seen them in Evendim until recently, when Till Ruinen, the island on the west side of the lake, became infested with these creatures. At night the island seems burning with the flames of these strange beasts. A number of salamanders have also been seen in the Barondelf. Yeah, we saw some of those on stream. South and east of Tinadir. Could it be that the creatures are spreading? Venture to Till Ruinen if you are willing, and discover the source of this plague of salamanders. There is a ruin in the centre of the island called Tollabel. Perhaps some clue to the origin of the salamanders may well be found there. And this is where we're very glad we weren't doing this way back when, because you used to, apparently, it's never been the case for me, you used to have to swim to everywhere, which is how it became known as Everswim rather than Evendim. For lucky people like me that have only been regularly playing about 2 years, we get a boat. Well, I wish it was a boat that actually took you over, that would be neat. It's more like a fast travel boat.
What can I do for you?
Till Ruinen. Go. It would have been neater if it was actually a boat travel, but you can't have everything in life, can you? Okay. So, we have a very vague investigate the island, so let's head towards the ring on the thing. Oh, the ring on the map. Just watching. Yeah, chickens is your new battle cry. Oh, you should so yell that at you know, mobs that think they're really big and tough, like the big toughest orcs that you come across. Yeah, chickens. Die, orc, die. Yeah. I had much fun. That was only a half-an-hour episode. I thought I'd lost it. I listened to some of it back. Well, no, I didn't. That was the problem. I watched some of it back, and I thought that I had totally... Oh, my companion got dismissed. How rude. I thought I'd lost all the audio, so I went to sleep feeling a little bit discouraged, because I thought I'd lost about an hour and a half's worth of recording. I haven't, thankfully, so I was able to upload the first half an hour quest line that I did for the Warden series. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. I'm still not used to my new keybinds. So I've still got to upload the second one, but at least I haven't lost anything, and I thought I had. Else I'd have had to sort of re-explain what I had actually picked up in the 2 episodes I thought I had recorded. Only I hadn't. So I didn't lose anything, so that was a bonus. No, it's weird doing recordings. I'm so used to people on stream, there being a chat room, something to sort of play off to help conversation. So talking to myself with videos has been an interesting experience. But no, I'm loving doing the Warden. It's turning out really well. I needed a male high elf, and I don't have one. And so he ended up becoming a Warden. Oops. Right. So now this guy, I think I did this quest line once on a Guardian in a stream, and I am not that clever that I can, after even so many runs, do this quest line without the use of LOTRO wiki. So I will unashamedly be using this because it's a... If you don't, it's a total pig to navigate around. So
What do you need?
here we go. So we meet Humphrey Rumming. Salamanders? Why would you ask me about salamanders? Me of all people. Why such a poor wandering lore-master like Humphrey Rumming know anything about them? Why, I don't even know what a salamander is. Never heard of them before. Ha! Got you there. You thought the whole thing was Humphrey Rumming's fault, didn't you? Didn't you? But now you know. I know nothing. Nothing. Not about salamanders. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Who would say such a thing? Humphrey Rumming is a great lore-master, you know. I know all the lore there is, so I must know something about salamanders. But what? That is the question, and a good question it is too. It says an awful lot and doesn't say anything in the process.
Could I have a word with you?
It doesn't sound suspicious at all. No, it doesn't, does it? You're doing final in the series. Warden is an odd class to get used to. It is. And I think I'm so used to like my Guardian, where you have, and to a certain extent my Hunter, where you have almost no lag between abilities, that having that 1 second cooldown, albeit 1 second is not exactly a huge amount of time, it's just trying to remember that I can't do 2 shield bashes consecutively. For example, you've got to wait that 1 second. So in my head I've got to take combat quite steadily, even though there's a lot to do. So yeah, and bringing out gamers Tourette's. Well, I don't really swear, but I'm not saying that I won't always be able to control my tongue if I feel frustrated. I do my best to make sure. Well, I don't actually swear normally speaking, but I try to make sure that I'm being as good and eloquent and using real English as possible when making videos and streaming, let's say. Okay, Rumming's ridiculous request, which is the first one we'll be looking up on LOTRO wiki. Yes, naturally, I know all about salamanders. I'm a great lore-master, am I not? Or am I? Ha! Little joke there. He's just off on one. Who wrote him? Brilliant job. Of course I am. All the wise know the name of Humphrey Rumming, but I can't divulge the great secrets of Lord to just anyone, can I? No, not at all. And how can Humphrey Rumming tell if you are worthy? How indeed? Let's try a little challenge, shall we? I have hidden a number of chests all around the island. One of them contains the answer to my riddle. Take this key, but beware, it can only be used once. Here's the riddle. Fluttering shreds rent from the fabric of night, fell shrieking beasts that shun the sun's light. Dwelling in darkness they fly hidden from sight. Clouds obscure the stars when first they take flight. It's not easy, is it? Oh no! But if you explore this island from top to bottom and from bottom to top, you are sure to find the solution. And if you don't use LOTRO wiki, you'll be doing exactly that and coming back multiple times. How many keys he keeps on his person, I have no idea. And you guessed correctly there, Secret. I looked that one up before I started the stream. But there's a number of creatures that could fit that description, and that's the problem with this quest chain. Yeah.
Could I speak with you a moment?
So, I know Humphrey thinks that this is all manageable, but the situation has become dire. That should be clear to anyone. We need to reduce the number of salamanders roaming around here. Indeed, they are an evil breed of draconic nature. Very little from the natural fauna remains. A few turtles on the northern shore. Those are vicious turtles, by the way, if you come across them. The salamanders have nearly devastated everything else. Grant me a favour and drive off a few of the beasts. Hopefully that will reduce the numbers enough to allow the natural fauna to return. Right, so Rumming's ridiculous request, as Secret said there, is exactly the bat. And it's on the south side of the island at 12.772. So 12.7 around about there. Okay. And in the process we need to kill off a few salamanders. Go on, kitty. Thank you. So we also triggered a class deed here, didn't we? Strike with fire law or sign of battle, wizard's fire. 350. I don't think we'll be achieving that anytime soon. There's a salamander. Yeah, go kitty, go! I'm slowly getting used to, I've retrained my hands now with that's Chest of the Lynx, it's not that one. My Hunter main, my Guardian is I've almost retrained my brain to do, and I think once I've done a few short combats here I'll be fine on my Lore-Master. And because it was actually my Wardens that started this mess off. I'm okay on my Wardens as well. Oh look, I hit level 40 off stream because I was crafting stuff sent by other characters, so apparently now level 40 you get extra class deeds. Strike with lightning strike. 250. Oh wow, that's so much more achievable. I don't know how much you can increment these in one go, in one sort of sitting. Oops, that wasn't what I was trying to do at all. How is Kitty? Kitty is fine. Another deed! Yay! Sign of command. Right, which one's the chest of the bats? That's the drake. I think when I first tried this on my own I thought, well, drakes are dragons, they would actually darken the sky at night, but I didn't know all the chests that were actually available when I started this quest chain, and then I just totally gave up because it's a it's a nightmare getting all the because you get it wrong. If you get these wrong once, you have to go back to Humphrey Rumming. Is that the bat? Yes, chest of the bat. That's not some sort of weird crafting recipe. 20 grams of chest of bat. And so you have to get a new key from Humphrey Rumming every single time you get it wrong. Oh, as much as it's possible, yeah, pray for Kitty, quite like that. But I've tried to, the way I've geared Kitty, which is the only thing you can really do, is with the brooch here. I wonder if I can replace my brooch now. It's a brooch of regrowth, so Kitty already has 150 in combat morale regen, and plus 1200 evade rating. You can, as a tinker, create a critical rating to improve their DPS, but that puts more pressure on you with on the healing side of things. Can I create a new brooch? When does the next brooch come in? Glittering adamant brooch. Haha! Yes, I can. So you got the brooch of rage if you're a tinker, which is such a weird. It's the right word, but a tinker is used like to tell little kids they're being slightly naughty. Adamant brooch of regrowth. Oh, fab! Right, I might craft one of those when I get back to Tinadir then. Which way's Humphrey Rumming? I'm walking in the wrong direction. Go figure. FJ is good for generating battle cries. Yes, but not the most fearsome kind. You know, like those sales pitches from games when they want you to buy something. Strike fear into your foes by calling them really nasty names. Did we get... Oh, we're one salamander short. I think there's a couple up on the ruin. Yeah, there we go. Cool. And that does both of those then.
Greetings.
I know you defeated a number of them, but I think you are right. I do not believe it made a difference either. Gotta love the really, you know, playful temperaments of the Rangers. How are we doing for reputation with the Wardens? Yeah, not 4,000 out of 30,000 today then.
I don't know anything, I'm sure.
Ha! Fool! That's the wrong token. I should have known you were no Lore-Master. Oh wait, that's the right one, isn't it? Yeah, I'm a Lore-Master. Bah! Just luck! Beginner's luck! Fool's luck! I won't tell you my dreadful secret at all now. Well, not that Humphrey Rumming has a dreadful secret, you know. It's just that if I did, I wouldn't tell you, you see? You see? Go kitty, yeah, chickens. Those are terrifying.
Will you help me?
You definitely got to be fearless if you're going to yell those in severe combat scenarios where you might actually die. Yes, fair enough. To be fair, I mean, you got to go sometimes into combat scenarios laughing, haven't you? Oh, very well. We both know you solved that riddle through pure luck. Well, through pure wiki. But let's run with luck. I need to go on to the next quest chain. So this one is Rumming's Resolute Resolve. Right. Cool. Oh, very well. We solved it through pure luck. But I suppose you deserve another chance. What? Challenge me? Humphrey Rumming? Impossible! You are not in my class, you know. It wouldn't be fair. I'll just give you another riddle and another key. Whoopee. Foul great beasts with sharpened claws, black-furred pelts and fanged maws. Coursing the woods they take their prey, torment their victim at last to slay. That one is easy enough, isn't it? Yes, it's a human. Oh wait, it's not. If you think that solving a single riddle is enough to satisfy me, you are quite mistaken. I didn't haul all of these chests out here to give up my knowledge of the first inquiry. Humphrey Rummings is nothing if not resolute. Anyone not got wiki open that wants to guess? You'd have to... Yeah, there are multiple creatures that could fit this description, actually. Poor kitty. Right, and then we get another one from the Ranger.
Would you do something for me?
It makes you wonder why Humphrey Rumming originally lugged all these chests out here. He's clearly got too much time on his hands. Attempting to reduce the salamanders' numbers did not work. I swear that I have seen more in the past hour than I did in the entirety of yesterday. I thank you for your efforts, but we must find a different approach to dealing with the problem. The salamanders make nests along the shoreline, and in them they lay their eggs. From these eggs, new salamanders hatch. No way. The salamanders seem to be especially aggressive breeders. Wander the shore, find these eggs and smash them. Perhaps we can stop the salamanders by ensuring the next generation fails to spawn. That depends on how fast they can create new eggs. Right, eggs over easy. That's a great name for the quest. Okay, so the solution for this riddle is the warg, and is also on the south. Oh, it's on the south end of the island at 12.472. So suspiciously similar to where we were before. Okay, south part of the island. Hi, Shadow. Good to see you. Second game I played today. The other day I unintentionally... Well, I had to intentionally log on to the games, but I hadn't intended originally to do that. But I ended up having to log into LOTRO like 11 PM because I'd forgotten to deliver one of the birthday presents. Thankfully, I think everyone's got their things now. No one's told me they're still waiting, at least. Where do we say the coordinates were? 12.472. I need to move my quest tracker down. It's near here anyway. Warg. Is that the Warg? That is Chest of the Drake. New. Glad to finally make a stream. Well, it's nice to see you as well. How's Kitty's health? Oops. Oh look, the cat healed itself before I got there. Right, we're looking for the Warg. Well, we're looking for a chest of the Warg anyway. There's some of the eggs we need to crush, but I'd rather find 12.472, 12.4, 12... What's that one there? Links. Oh, is it that one? Yes, there we go. We are very concerned about poor Kitty. The kitty is doing fine. I have a magic brooch. So his injuries, he regrows them. Of course, in all that process, I did in fact take more damage than my cat, which, go figure. It's the traditional healer problem, isn't it? You spend so much time making sure that your other people in the group are healed that you forget that you also need health. Collected token of the Warg. Yes. Right, so now we need to destroy 12 eggs. Salamander eggs. Yes. It's a LOTRO miracle, the self-healing Kitty! All those prayers for Kitty worked. And yeah, I kept dying as a healer. I have not had to heal myself in or heal others very often in games. I'm not. I don't like being responsible for that many people's lives. I have done it in PvP a bit in the Old Republic. And occasionally my guild there let me do fairly risk-free, as far as it goes, healing in small stuff. I'm not sure I'd want to be blamed for the life or death of people during, you know, a real quest or mission. Dying is not the right word. Well, I know that when I've done it in PvP in the Old Republic that you do end up being defeated quite easily, because if you're the healer, obviously you're the first point of the first target of the of your enemies. It's a perfect strategy unless you're a healer, and then you really wish people didn't have that perfect strategy. We're not even done half yet of the first stage Slayer deed for salamanders, but if you run around this island enough and you are deeding, if you run around the island, by the time you get back to the same point again, everything has pretty much respawned. Fab. If your enemy is smart enough, yes, if they are. I'm not sure. Well, Lore-Masters don't really class as healing classes. You can't heal other humans or Bjornings, I presume. You can't heal bears just because you're a Lore-Master. Oh yes, I have to basically run around most of the island to find these eggs. Well, whatever you decide to try out a Scholar or a White Mage, people almost never blame each other. People take their own responsibility, do they? No way! course, when in groups, there's a joint responsibility for surviving on... I'm pretty sure it was a Zamzam post, where she was like, if I'm the healer, don't stand in the really obvious red circles that say you need to get your behind out of there. Or, as she put it, standing in stupid. Healers, although they can do an awesome job, are not paid enough to be miracle workers as well. I really wish my channel times on this Lore-Master were less. But then again, with my hands really hurting today, the fewer key presses I can make, the better. I'm half expecting when I load Twitter after this, which I really shouldn't because it'll be gone 10 PM, but to see "Pray for Kitty" hashtag in my feed. That will be fun. I have tried some of the other creatures I have access to. My other one that I'm happy questing with is the eagle companion. But sometimes the eagle gets in the way of you targeting things, which can be a little frustrating. They just quit if the group can't clear the content, but they do take responsibility, which almost never happens. No, it doesn't. Yeah, blame game. I think when people start blaming each other, they're forgetting that the aim of the MMO, firstly, is to have fun doing stuff. And secondly, to win loot. It's this question of priorities, I suppose. We still need 5 more eggs. And I'm going to keep running into lake skimmers because I don't look properly first. These are these really vicious turtles that it'll be fine on the Lore-Master because I haven't got to face it. But if you go, I went in with my Guardian fairly on level. They can in fact stun you. They're pretty good at that. They're not even signature level mobs, right? But they are vicious as heck. Thankfully, with the Lore-Master at least, I've got a spare pair of claws to fight for me. Is there a crawler? Nah, good. There isn't. I was just checking there wasn't a crawler slayer in Evendim. Or if we make it on the Lore-Master to Troll Shores, or unless I change class, which is possible. The crawler slayer is probably the most evil deed that they've put on in Eriador, and there's a lot to choose from. Still looking for eggs to crack. Let me look at my map. Should be some in this area, because crawlers are usually yellow, so they don't come up as aggressive on your map, so they don't turn red until you start attacking them, and they hide in the grass and they're all over the map as well. It's not just like one small area that happens to have a bunch of them in. I'd still think that Slayer deed was created by somebody having a really bad day at the office. Horrible, horrible deed. The worst one I had was when I was running the vault. Healer was taking all the blame for the final boss. How can the healer take all the blame? People have to, the tank should be taking responsibility for drawing the fire of, of the boss. The DPS people should be taking responsibility for the fact that, they're supposed to deal a decent amount of damage. Oh look, and again I took more damage than my cat. Flipping cat is so good at this. I have tried a strict blue line mini. I got so frustrated I went back to red, to be fair. 50% of the problem is mine. Still learning. Watching the guard round up 10 mobs, then scream. They shouldn't die. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, that is harsh. I mean, you still... Tanks have got to make sure they don't aggro too much. I mean, I've done that playing solo sometimes. You know, you can't win them all. But you do have to be careful that you don't put yourself in harm's way. I would never tank. I'm happy to try and heal in groups as one of the healers, but I would never tank a group. Far too much responsibility. I'm not surprised he ticks you off. The thing is, those kind of comments, even if they were correct and justified, they don't help people to enjoy playing the game. You can come off feeling really, really bad that you've not performed, not done your job properly, and that's not actually what gaming should be about. I know for a lot of people it is, but then it feels a lot like work then. I'm sorry you didn't pass your annual appraisal. We don't want you in future groups. It's not what it should be about. We found that most of the time, at least, the DPS people were to blame. I have a feeling. When was the last time I did an op? I did do an... No, we did an op recently that I was okay in, just doing range DPS. It's because I'd learnt my lesson. There was one that I only do range DPS if I'm going to do an op with guildies, which is the only time I will do ops. Is that I was overheating my weapons, which you can do when you're playing Merc. I am missing one egg to crunch, and it's on the opposite side of the pigging island. Hi, Menoras! So I had, and I worked out I'd got. It's a stat I don't think exists in LOTRO, or doesn't have an equivalent. Is alacrity, basically how fast can you use your abilities, which is great for healers particularly, and most ranged DPSs that you've got in the Old Republic, except for mercenary, who you can overheat your equipment, and therefore you suddenly go from having awesome DPS because you're chucking out loads of abilities in a short space of time to not being able to do anything for like half a minute because you've overheated your equipment. So I learnt my lesson from that and adjusted my stats, and that was really helpful guidance I had from my guildies. But you have to have the right kind of understanding people to group with to learn those lessons. But yeah, I accepted my responsibility as a... But, in a group of 8, it's not one person's responsibility. It's the group's responsibility. Right, where am I going? I'm trying to get to that last egg to smash. Findler, if you are following me on Twitter, if you are, it's not a requirement. Can you ping me a tweet so that I can, in my head, know that you are known as Findler in chat, just so that I know who I'm talking to. Because I've had some people before in chat, and they're like, "Yeah, we've been talking for ages on Twitter, but they're under a different name, and I didn't know." So it's just helpful sometimes to have Twitch names to equate to Twitter ones. Most of the time they either lack at movement or don't do enough damage. Yes, lack of movement. You can't not move. Not in if you're decent group content, the AoE abilities will change location. You shouldn't just be able to stand and shoot, kind of thing. So that's definitely something you have to watch out for. Oh, if anyone does end up deeding on this particular island, and if you're going to do all the deeds in Evendim, you will be on deeding this on this island. Keep your eye out for other people who may also be doing the same deed. You will be running around this island for absolutely ages, even as a DPS. trying to kill off enough salamanders for the deed. You got to do 270, so it's not exactly a small target. I keep thinking of changing my Twitter handle. Too lazy. Well, the problem is that people know you as a certain way on Twitter, and so a bit reluctant to sort of change that. Oops, sorry, cat. Keep thinking of change. Yeah. Oops. Ah. Getting distracted. Thankfully, it'll be cat to the rescue. My hands really hurt, so that the more that my cat can do for me, the better, really. My meds have mostly worked on. I was having a spike of shoulder pain as well just before stream. But that's calmed down since I've had my meds. But my hands, no. I wasn't even I was playing a completely new game to me before stream. So it was because it was only very low level. It was hardly what you'd call complicated. Although I do miss in the Old Republic and other games what LOTRO does with this. You can just click your quest giver and take your hands off.
How can I be of service?
Ah, love it. Gives my hands a few seconds break. Lore-Master can be helpful with that. Playing the Lore-Master, yes. Lore-Master helping heal my hands, no. I don't know whether to try a full blue mini at some point. I'm a bit risk averse to change, so I've got one minstrel on one server and one minstrel on the other, and both are redline because it's what I'm used to, which is not exactly the best reason for making decisions. Oh yes, when I did this quest with my guardian, I remember now. I can still see flecks of shell in your hair. It sounds like he's flirting with you. Let me get those flecks of shell out your hair. This plan will take a while to resolve as we have not done anything to the current spawning of salamanders, but hopefully, as they are driven out with none to replace them, we can reclaim this island. Ha ha ha, in your dreams. Yeah, Fendeler, yes, thank you for... Yes, I recognise when you said JCon96. I've really appreciated those chats, actually, about Wardens. It's helpful for me to speak to someone who's clearly had a lot more experience. It's also helpful for anyone who comes watching the video to see that I genuinely don't know anything until I learn it. I have rolled 2 Wardens since, one on Crick Hollow and another one on Evernight, but I'm going to be really good and attempt not to over-level the one I'm recording so that I don't pre-learn anything. I'll try to. Now, see, the problem is we would burn the boss down to 30%, and when he gets to phase 2, the DPS would get 2-shotted at the same time. So I'd get tank busted. Yeah, so if a DPS can get 2-shotted, whose fault is that? That's a difficult one with the group scenario, isn't it? Who is at fault with that? The Warden makes me nervous, but it looks fun. It's a lot of fun. It's actually, there's no reason to get nervous with it because you get very few abilities at the start of Warden, so you get a lot of time to play around in the first 10 levels with only a few things to click, or keybind as I have.
What do you need?
Bah! That riddle was too easy! Even a child could solve it! Well, anyway, the point is Humphrey Rumming's secrets are not for you! You have no conception of the magnitude of my wisdom! The terrible secret of the salamanders is not for your ears! I have so much wisdom, but I know I screwed up somewhere, but I'm not telling you about it. It would ruin my pride. Alright, one more riddle. This one will truly challenge your lore mastery. Again, I give you a key to a chest. Again, I challenge you to show even a thousandth part of the brilliance of Humphrey Rumming, wisest of the wise. So, here you go. Lesser get of Calagon spawn, taloned claws and fang-gaped yawn. Scather's tears would surely flow. Saw he his children laid so low. I knew absolutely diddly squat about this when I first tried it on my own. I'm like, who the heck is Ancalagon? Who the heck is Scather? So I'm unashamedly going back to LOTRO Wiki. Rumming's remaining riddle. Depends on why he gets 2-shotted. because the boss hits like, yeah, and he goes after the DPS. Well, isn't that then a problem with the programming of the boss rather than the fault of the DPS in that scenario? That's how I would read it. I could be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong if I am. Right, now this one, the answer to this is the worm. And that one will be found at 1271. He's so clever, he hid most of them in the southern half of the island. 1271. So over there someplace. I'm picking up so many loot boxes in landscape questing now, and I have one key across all of my characters. I need to do more lower level
Stay a moment.
deeds. I might be seeing things. I have been out here a long time, and Humphrey is not exactly the sanest of company, but I would swear I saw a young salamander riding along the back of a lake skimmer, and it danced over the water. If I did see this, and this can actually happen, it could be disastrous if somehow the salamanders were carried across the western shore of the lake, where they could begin to multiply and spread without any natural bounds to stop them. Head to the beach and destroy any lake skimmers you find. We cannot take a chance on this. Yeah, I think you're seeing things. He wouldn't do that without a reason. If that happens to be a certain phase, he might be enraged. It was enragement that we struggled with, and that you can guarantee that's a DPS, group DPS problem, in that you're not dealing enough damage before the enragement. So Shadow, is that actually then the fault of the programming of the boss, rather than the DPS's problem in that scenario? Right, we're going to the east part of this island then, aren't we? Yes. How are we doing on the Salamander Slayer? Eriador. Oh, we might get the first. Yeah, I need 14 of them. Oh, lake skimmers. Yes, we don't just want salamanders. Go kill some lake skimmers. And if you go down before you get tank stance, yes, it can be really complicated with certain classes. Even I remember that even in the Old Republic there was an instance where, oh, this is that one that's just out off the island, isn't it? They made a change to DPS Juggernauts and Guardians, where the taunt from a DPS Juggernaut or Guardian would actually lower your threat level, and no one understood why they weren't being able to hold aggro against their own healer. And it was because they'd changed the small print of the taunt to be a, this will reduce your threat level, ergo your companion healer will get all of it rather than just some of it. I really don't understand the Lore-Master having so many abilities that reduce your own health. Yes, you're right, Faffy. It's not the single taunt. You can, but you know, most of the Chest of the Worm, you very rarely have only one mob to deal with in later content where it actually matters. So yes. Although it makes no sense that, you know, a Sith giving this amazingly terrifying scream to a group of foes would suddenly make them go, oh, that's not scary at all, and just run away. It was a strange mechanic that makes no sense. It meant you couldn't do mini tank DPSing kind of thing where you could avoid some of the damage and keep the aggro off your healer. At the same time, they increase the threat level of healers as well, which, yeah, Hasn't been fun as a solo player, so I dread to think what it's like in a group scenario. Heard you respond when able to. It's been yeah, thanks, Findler. It's been appreciated. I respond when I can. I'm not on emails all the time, and that's my primary notification method for YouTube. I have been attempting to, with moderate success at least, reduce my multitasking. The downside of it is my response rate is lower. But I'll always get to, especially YouTube comments, I will always get to them eventually because I don't want people to feel like they're being ignored. Lake skimmers. Yeah, they could be anywhere. But at this point... Oh, there's one. Go, kitty, go. Try not to aggro the salamander at the same time. Oh, look! Aggro the salamander at the same time. How did that happen? That salamander was ages away. Okay, you could have stopped channeling Bane Flame when the mob died. That would have been really handy. Lake skimmers. I don't know how the cat aggroed that salamander. Not that one. The one in the previous encounter. He didn't, because I purposely told him which one to target. It doesn't matter because it's not long, not exactly damaging. I'm just curious. It could cause issues if we end up in a larger group of mobs at some point. Lake skimmers, yay! Three more. We need 4 more salamanders for 5 LOTRO points. Let's grab those while we're here. My intention is still at some point to go to a 3 stream a week schedule, but that won't be until next month now, because I wasn't able to actually do 2 every week in January. Yay for chronic pain. Because I'd really like to, I'm really enjoying the Lore-Master streams, and I'm going to carry on doing them. But I'd really like to pick up one of the other classes and look at different regions as well. And one more lake skimmer. Youch, that sounds like a very terrifying encounter. I'm not sure I'd cope with that, Shadow. That's quite a tricky mechanic there. Hi, Lieber. Good to see you. And in the morning as well for you. I'm impressed. Coolio.
Greetings.
I agree, it was probably all in my head. And in no way possible. Especially now that I think about the size of a lake skimmer and the size of a salamander. Yeah, I thought that too. But I thank you for entertaining me. Oh, no, you entertained me. That's fine.
You startled me.
Well, I suppose you think you've won. Well, you haven't won. Not by a long shot. You'll never beat me. Not Humphrey Rumming, no. Yes, right. The salamanders. Ah, I had forgotten. Well, since you acknowledge my greatness, my preeminence among all Lore-Masters, I suppose it would be all right to share my secret, since you have proven yourself worthy. Barely. Not 1 in 1,000, 1 in 1,000,000 could have solved my riddles. So now, listen closely. Well, this is more conducive than 3 AM. It sure is, yes. Here we go. It happened like this, as one of the world's greatest lore masters. Oh, shut up. I happened to be doing some research on the ruins of Tolabel. It seems the last owner was a great warrior, and he took a number of trophies from the Angmarine at the Battle of Fornost. These trophies included a pair of eggs. Such little eggs too. Well, naturally it was a challenge to see if they would be quickened after all these generations. You can imagine my pride when they hatched. Cute little salamanders, tiny little efts they seem. Truly learned lore masters call them efts, you know, and I encourage you to do the same. But these little efts just would not stop growing, and soon they began to grow hostile, and after that came the fire. The things breed so fast I managed to pen the original Dam and Sire in a cellar in the ruins here. Since then, well, I've been trapped. I mean, I've been studying them. Yes, but now you've come, you can kill them. You're a hero, aren't you? Right, here, take this key. Say the Dam and Sire. The other salamanders breed much more slowly. Now that you know the terrible secret of the salamanders, it's up to you to stop them. I'm sorry I screwed up. Well, I'm not sorry I screwed up. I'm a great lore master, but I'm going to send you to do my dirty work in the same. Did I mention the Vault is also a storyline dungeon? Is that in the MMO I was playing earlier? Shadow. And if it's over level 35, I haven't really got to worry. Do they make you do a group one as part of solo content? LOTRO used to be like that apparently, and then they brought in a system called Inspiration that, although you still wreck your hands with the amount of combat you have to do, it kind of gives you an element of healing and an element of tanking and an element of DPS to make up for the lack of group members that you have. I have a feeling, Minora's, it's in neither game that you mentioned there. Level 54 dungeon. Well, yeah, I'm not going to have to worry about that for a while. There have been 2 games I've started fairly recently as... Oh look! Yay! Salamander Slayer. Basically for me time. I still use LOTRO very much for me time. But... to have games that I haven't got to do any productivity for is nice. But no, I still have plenty of, especially in LOTRO, time for me. But yeah, I've been investigating other games. Just got to make sure I don't feel like I have to play any one of them. I just do what I feel. Apart from my streams, which I'm trying to at least keep consistent. You see there, and you get 180. It would be better with a group, but the further through content I get in LOTRO, the less inclined I am to use the deed accelerators until the numbers get really stupid. And you really want to maximize how many things you can take out while in the hour and a half you're using a deed accelerator.
I don't know anything.
Oh,
sure.
You killed them! Poor things! I mean, well done. Well done indeed. At last I can leave this accursed place. I mean, well, perhaps there's a little bit more to study here after all. Anyway, you've done a great deed here and helped the pursuit of knowledge immensely. Immensely, I say. Of course, it was nothing I couldn't have handled myself. I was just letting you learn a little yourself. Go to the rangers on the island to the east and tell them that I am very displeased with their handling of the salamander problem. A great lore-master can only do so much, and at some point the rangers should have stepped in. Now give me back my key. Whoever wrote him did a very, very good job. Right, let's ignore the next level, Salamander Slayer, and just go back to Tinadir. And then I need to find out where the quest lines pick up, because I'm sure I am missing one somewhere. Most boss fights go insanely fast in terms of length they last, so likely they won't wreck your hands. That would be nice, especially if it's enforced group content. But again, that's post free-to-play level. Right, so what do we have here? I want to turn in some tasks. So, very sharp claws. Very sharp claws. Yes, we have some of those. Soft skins? Soft skin, yes. Looks like I'm just going to be doing lots of sharp claws and lots of soft skin, which is fine.
Greetings.
Greetings,
What can I do
usual.
for you?
Soft skin and very sharp claws. Have I got a 5 or 6 task limit on this character? Wrong window. 5 still.
What do you need? How can I be of service?
Here, you can take these manky claws off my hands. Not off my hands, they're not attached to my hands. Very sure, I'm not playing my Bjorning. Although, that would be a good one to stream.
What can I do for you?
There we go, 5. How many more have I got to turn in to get to unlock level 6? Am I in the wrong... Which panel is it in? Up and comer. Oh, and only another 34 tasks. Okay. Not going to rush in with those then. Right. However, I do need to get rid of some stuff.
Greetings.
I might be able to fix that. Keep those. Because we kept a lot of the task items, that's where most of my value is, in my trash. Here. Right, let's go finish off the Tilruinen questline, and then I've got to work out where the questline picks up. It doesn't have the same flow as the epic. I think I'm missing a quest somewhere. I tried all the ones at Tinadir, and the only ones left are there's this one here, which is a treasure hunting one. But all the ones that are left at Tinadir are go to Rivendell, go to Esteldin,
How can I be of
kind
service?
of thing. Welcome back, Ayrhir. I had begun to fear for your safety. What have you learned? Indeed, an amazing story. That mad old man. It's a pity we weren't able to patrol these lands better, or we should never have permitted him to go near those ruins. It may be that these salamanders will never fully be driven from the area now, but at least we know their origin. If what Rimming said is true, it may also be that your actions have slowed their spread. I thank you too for that. See, that has not triggered a further quest here to pick up, so I'll pick up this one, but this is not a quest line as such. It is, but it makes you dot all over the place.
Might you spare a
Random
moment
question,
of your
FJ, are you
time?
going to become a Twitch affiliate? I am a Twitch affiliate. And I'm, yeah, because I've hit the criteria to be a Twitch affiliate, which means I can have subs, for example, and other benefits. I don't think I'm going to be able to really benefit so much from Twitch affiliate until I can stream more often, I think. But we'll see. No, I've been a Twitch affiliate for a while because people have been great. So I've got, what was it, 125, 130? What was the number of followers? Oh, I can't load it without without you hearing double audio. And streaming fairly regularly, which is not that high a bar, so I have managed it. I've come into possession of a riddle, if we haven't actually heard enough of those, that may lead the way to some buried treasure. A Dunedain landholder buried something somewhere in Evendim, fearful that it might be taken by the Witch King's forces if Fornost fell. It seems that the landholder's line was extinguished in the battle, his lands abandoned, but I believe that his treasure remains unfound. Here is the riddle, Ayrhir, the only directions I have found, and those not easy to come by. 2 roads pass through these fields, 4 kings watch the meeting of the ways. Thankfully, this riddle quest, you just follow the map. I do not know where this might be, but there is a crossroad east of Tinadir. Perhaps this riddle speaks of the crossroads of Canadiach. Right, I still need to find a quest giver somewhere. 130. Thank you for checking that out for me, Shadow. So, I'm just going to quickly double check. I know I am missing a quest from somewhere. It might be that I need to go back up to Ost Forod, actually. Probably should have scouted this out ahead of time. So... See, this Refuge of the Elves is one of those... Oh, look, talk to Elrond. Fortress of the North...
Can I speak with you a moment?
Oh, hang on. Ah, this might be the one I'm missing. Fortress of the North. That boy over there, he's not really a boy, Kelsey is his name I believe, showed up in camp recently and has been lurking around. I'm not sure if he is perhaps scouting us to see what value he can make off with, but I do not trust him. That's okay, no one trusts the Rangers either. Do me a favour, approach him and converse with him, perhaps you can discover his motives. The pre-level 51s have a lot of mechanics, annoyingly enough. Great. It's okay, I'm just using other games as mess around and relax and chill and have no responsibilities. And I think the other one here is
Might I take a moment of your
speaking
time?
to the Earthkin at Lore-Master, which I am not rushing to Angmar on any character. Oh, don't, Fendalar, please. It's finding games where I don't have to do group stuff, but I can still be sociable. But I'm already dividing my time between the Old Republic, LOTRO, and then in my spare snippets of time around home, etc., a little bit of Dragon Age Origins, and thanks to Dear Shadow, who is in the chat room, a little bit of Final Fantasy I've just started messing with. And I am literally just messing with it at the moment. But yeah, there's only so much time. I think if I was just a streamer, I wouldn't mind, because I could do a bit like a Stein Plays, and just stream a different game every day, and maybe duplicate one of them. But because I run a blog, I'm very active on Twitter. I want to, you know, keep my friends in different games as well. I can't. I'm very conscious that I want to be able to play the games that I'm committed to, as it currently stands. So I've got quite a few things that I'm doing, and with the new YouTube series as well, which people are really appreciating, I think. I can't play all the games out there. I think I looked at it originally. I don't know. Then again, I also looked at Final Fantasy originally, and thought they were both a bit up there. They were going to be quite complicated. Final Fantasy isn't at the level 7 or something at the moment, so it's hardly a great gauge of its complexity. Okay, so this is, you know, this is the boy, you see, very boy, not at all grown man, who is lurking around Tinadir.
What do you need?
I have come to this camp to enlist the aid of the Rangers with the problems that face my people. But these men seem so distrustful. It's almost as if they think Ost Forod is full of tomb robbers. Certainly times are hard, and some of my people have turned to plunder, but there are far more decent people at my home than the unsavoury sort these Rangers fear. Yes, very boy, yeah. He's such a little boy, with a beard. And back to Ochelway. This happens a few times in LOTRO, where two people, look, they're, if I zoom out a little bit, there's our boy, there's Ochelway. They could just speak to each other but don't. There's an even better one if you do the Bingo Boffin questline and you go through to Rivendell. You get Bingo stood here, and then you end up with Bilbo stood here, and they're both using you as the messenger, and actually they could just turn their heads and talk to each other, but apparently that's too complicated. He had a beard in kindergarten. How to freak out a teacher. Apart from the sub fee, you don't pay a single cent. I don't understand. To be fair, I don't. There's hi Lee Nightingales. Good to see you. Yes, I have to also be careful with our finances as things currently stand. And also, I think if I was paying for another game, I would feel obligated to play it, and then I wouldn't know where to put my attention. So I will wait. At the moment, I'm only VIP in LOTRO because somebody in LOTRO family gifted me some VIP, which was amazing. Yeah, maybe if I can, you know, earn a bit more through blogs. I won't be able to earn through YouTube until I get another 850 odd followers, so that's going to take some time. Yeah, so at the moment we can only sub one game as it currently stands, but hey, this is a stream, this is not a sales pitch. Right, let's carry on. Fortress of the North.
What do you need?
It pains me to admit that the boy is not wrong. My very impression of him proved that just now. He comes asking for our help, something we used to openly give to all, and we watch from a distance in shadows, distrustful and on guard. Today we shall end that. For once we had an agreement in place with the people of Ost Forod. Yes, I thought we had to go north. They would watch the northern lands and protect the road from Forahel. In return, we would supply them and see that they were taken care of. We have both lapsed in our parts of the agreement. Tell Kelsey that the Rangers will uphold their portion of the agreement and will help Ost Forod. He may not know what that means, but I suspect he will direct you to someone who does. Goes to find an EU town. Oh, you don't have to, Shadow. There's plenty I can do to level 35. Then we can talk about that maybe nearer the time. Oh, look after yourself, Faffy. Thanks for the entertainment value. You've been great. Look after yourself. Right. Hello, boy.
How can I be of service?
They said they would help. This is marvellous news to me, but words are not of much value. The winter is coming, and the winds from Forahel are cold this year. Not that there'll ever be warm coming from there, but yeah. There is much to do in Ost Forod. There are some rewarding bounties posted, and an adventure of your skill could well find yourself gainfully employed in no time. Just cross the bridge back to the mainland, then follow the road to the crossroads. One of the arbiters, Basil Gummidge, amazing name, Basil Gummidge, will be pleased to see you and hear of your news from the Rangers. And it was only on about my third alt through Evendim that I found these bounties at Ost Forod. So I'll show you where they are, because I totally missed them last time. I'm glad it's been a sunny day in game, because my last trip on Sunday, in fact, to Evendim, which was to do the, well, was going to be to do the reforging of Aragorn's sword questline, and then I got to the end and it's a fellowship quest, and there was no one to fellowship with. And because it's not an epic one, you don't get inspiration either, so oh yes, menorahs. It's because right at the start, I think I said something about I'm sending the cat into danger or something like that because I'm on a really bad hand day, so I won't be doing. I'll be doing as little combat as in Ayrhir himself will be doing as little combat as possible. And so the kitty is the lynx that I'm currently got as my companion on this Lore-Master. Can I just go? Oh, there's the riddle here, isn't there? Yes. Yes, goat! Indeed, it was indeed a goat. Yes, goat is his preferred form of transport. Here we go. The stone is surrounded by signs of digging. If once it marked the location of treasure, it has surely been found. The marker bears an inscription, all but worn away by the passage of time. And then you pick up the... We'll carry on doing this. It's quite a long chain. But because the storyline of Evendim will send you to the regions the treasure hunt does, you can keep the treasure hunt quests up and you'll be fine to pick them up as you journey into Oh, crumbs! Apparently, the freebie of the week from LOTRO is in fact a free black steel key. Use the code OPENBOX through February 15th. Goat is love, goat is life. You're not the only person who says that. Unless you have so many aliases I can't keep up. The inscription on the marker is barely legible, but these words can just be made out. To settle disputes, men fight in the ring of stone. Outside the wall, my marker lies hidden. Not the best rhyming couplet you've ever heard of. This new riddle may reveal the true location of the treasure. Hint, it doesn't. Yes, good job we picked that one up, because the next marker is in fact in Ost Forod, so... Yes, if you have a Mordor character, or even if you don't, probably pick up that freebie from LOTRO, because you will need them if you end up getting to Mordor. Only afford... This goat was a Hobbit gift. Apparently it's quite rare to get. It was when I actually... The reason I'm normally a premium account person is that I think I had a month of VIP somewhere. I think I used it to fully try out LOTRO, and then we worked out we couldn't afford for me to continue subbing to both games, both MMOs that I play regularly. But so it was a gold Hobbit present drop, and there is, in fact, Liber in the. It's not in the. Or at least it wasn't in the last Spring Festival. I don't know what this year's anniversary event mount's going to be, but last year there was a black goat, the Windfell's goat, which is actually an evil goat. But it was so cheap last year because it was 2 years ago's event mount, so it won't be available for festival tokens, but it will be available for Mithril, but they tend to be 20? Is it 20 Mithril that the previous event mounts are for? I can't remember, so maybe somebody else in the room can correct me on that one.
What can I do for you?
Farmer's Fair, which is a long way away now, also has a goat in it. Right. Now then, these bounties, the reason I missed them on the first 2 or 3 outs is that they're these things here. So if you put floating names on, there are several of these sort of wanted posters dotted around. And I didn't realise they were quest givers. This poster advertises a bounty on a vicious warg named Thauk, described as bloodthirsty creature known to be in league with goblins that stalk Tirn Fornech, and it invites interested parties to seek out Rowena Parker and Ost Forod for details and apply for the commission. We will, but I can't remember how soon we get up to. I think Tirn Fornech is up here somewhere. I think so. Right. We'll venture in here. If you pick up this little hobbit here, this is a.
Hello there. Might I speak with you a moment?
I'm not going to read all of this, else most of the stream will be me reading quest text. But basically, as per usual, he's hungry. He wants some boar, and he says that he's been looking for boar in Evendim to try and have some dinner, and he can't find any boar, but there must be some. So please, would you go and hunt for some boar? And the quest is spend time looking for boars in Evendim. Hint: don't. There are no boars anywhere in Evendim. Don't bother. Just wait for the half an hour timer to expire, and you will be fine. Oh, right. So the treasure marker is down here, I think. Yes. Although this is a road out of Ost Forod, the treasure is actually in this lower ruin down here. Well, it's not. The treasure marker is in this lower ruin down here. So we'll pick up the treasure marker. And down there. There must have been a safer route. I'll just jump. Oh, come on. It was only a small jump. There we go. And of course there is no treasure here, because if there was going to be treasure in a populated area, it would be found. so there isn't. So you get a new riddle. You can get a Moria goat from quest, and yes, if you get through to Moria, yes indeed, there is the not that many quests into Moria. You can get a goat, and because I use the apprentice riding trait from the LOTRO store, I got that goat, and it was instantaneously the same speed as all my other ones. I think its default is about 30% on run speed that you get in Moria. To be fair, you don't really want to be going very fast around Moria on a goat anyway. From this beach you can see Rantost, a short swim across the river. The longer we can defer going to Rantost, the better it'll be for everybody. It's a pain. Literally, and my Guardian did not have much fun doing Rantost. It is a huge challenge. 32% default, yes. It feels slow in comparison to every other mount that you get, but around some of the trickier segments of Moria, it's not bad. I think I've taken to walking a lot around Moria. I just feel safer unless I know I'm like going into a cave area rather than some of the very dangerous bridges in that place. My life. Right. Where are our quest givers? Down there. Okay, here we go. Yes, dismount for NPC talks, because it's only polite.
What do you need?
Kelsey has finally got someone to come and help us. He's a good boy, but he's taken his time finding aid. You say Orchaway knows you are here as well. He has a desire to restore the pact we once both honoured. The Rangers let their end go long before we did. It will take some time for me to determine if I believe he is being truthful.
Would you do something for me?
So the Rangers suddenly want to honour their end of our old arrangement. Funny how as soon things start to go bad for them, they seek out help, yet deny it to others who have needed it for so long. Ouch. Still, the fact you are here shows a small step has been taken. Let us see how serious they really are. Before we get to anything dealing with what they want, we have to make sure that we are well prepared for winter. The storms will be coming soon, and our supplies of nearly everything have gotten very low. If you are serious about restoring this pact, we will start with our needs. Go see several of the townsfolk, and they will direct you to what these are. So, Clark Standish, Ballard Wilmer, Rowena Parker, and Poppy Seaton. Where are you? Up. There's someone up here. There's no rush with anything, Lieber. In fact, actually, probably the first goat that you can get hold of, well, at your current rate, will be the one that has apples on the back, which is from the Farmer's Fair. That's later in the year. But the first one you'll be able to get in-game outside of events, if you get Kindred Standing with Thorin's Hall, then in Thorin's Hall you can pick up the goat from there. That's a very nice goat, and it's one I will use periodically on my main.
I'm sure it will do no good.
So,
may I speak with you?
Yes, you may. So this is Poppy Seaton, one of the people we have to appease to show that the Rangers are serious. Blankets are not the only things that keep you warm in winter. A good roaring fire is just as important to have. To keep it going you need wood though, lots of it, and plenty dry. Our stores are low this winter. With folks leaving to join the tomb robbers, we have few honest people left to do the work necessary to get ready for winter. We have had to focus everyone on food. The firewood pile has stayed very short. The best wood is out near Nan Orngong. The bears root it up while they are digging for grubs. It is dry but burns for a long time. If you could gather up a bunch of branches, it would be very helpful. So that's Poppy. Then Oh, that's the vile warg
Can't
one.
you leave me to my misery?
Okay, let's just... because that's not really part of a story that we're doing. Let's not read all of that. Our Rowena Park we still need to speak to anyway. Yeah, okay. Hides for blankets.
I'm sure it will do no good, but may I
The
speak
winter
with
cold
you?
will chill you to your core if you are not ready for it. It is especially dangerous at night when one does not awaken from the bitter cold. Blankets are very important if you wish to wake in the morning. Yeah, you do want to wake up each morning, it's true. We had plenty to go around last year, but it seems that robbers are not just pilfering tombs these days. A storehouse was emptied just last week, and now we're short of blankets. Bear hide is the ideal material for making new ones. It is thick, and with brushing it will be made soft. Plus there are plenty of bears just southeast of here, at a place we call Nan Orngon. I'm really going to struggle when my Bjorning gets to Evendim, because to do the full quest chain you have to complete this Ost Forod section. I think I'm just going to have to assume they're vicious bears that can't be tamed, and therefore my Bjorning will have to slay some of them. Yes. My Bjornings are both also in the Lonelands, so a ways to go yet. And who are you? You are Ballard Wilmer.
Stay and hear me out.
Alright, I'll stay and hear you out then. It's time to build our foodstuffs and prepare for the coming cold. Elk meat takes time to dry and cure. It is not done overnight, and it must be done before the cold snap hits. It cannot cure if it is frozen. That means it must be gathered now, so it has enough time that we'll be able to enjoy it later. There are few things that warm a belly more than spiced, dry piece of elk meat on a frozen winter night. This NPC is making me hungry. Head into the hills, you will find the elk roaming about them. Bring back enough haunches that will be able to get a few weeks of meals from them. You do very good voices, FJ. Thank you. I think I've made people laugh before when I've done my Hobbit voices. Especially, like, Hobbit lassie voices. Who's the last NPC that we need? We need to... someone over here. Maybe up these stairs. Welcome back, Menoras. If you do the is it Narsil, the name of Aragorn's sword? If you do that quest chain, you have to come to Ost Forod and return some stolen goods that some of the people in Ost Forod have stolen. But you've got to sneak it out of Ost Forod without someone catching you. That's fun. I did manage it first time, but you're looking at your mini-map really obsessively. Thanks, Menoras. I struggle to make ingenious, like, male voices. Speaking of which, I'll have to get a drink fairly soon.
Stay and hear me out.
The winters here are colder and harsher than the rest of Evendim. We do not have the lake to warm us, and the winds blow straight through the mountain passes from Forachel. It is difficult to prepare for everything we need. Often during the winter we run hunting parties out to find whatever elk or bear are still foraging about. I worry that this year we will not find any. There are more tomb robbers encamped in the hills than I remember for any year before, and they will want to eat. Head out into the hills west of here and encourage some of these tomb robbers to move on. They will be bad for this winter, and we simply cannot afford them taking the food sources we desperately need. What I won't manage to remember to do is, of course, I won't remember which voice I put on for which NPC when we actually return to the quest givers. What's today's drink of choice, rum and coke? No, my wife used the last of the rum and the last of the coke, having that very drink yesterday or the day before. Which, to be fair, that instance she deserved, so fair enough. Right, so what are we actually doing here then? Collecting logs, collecting bear hides, elk haunches, and defeating tomb robbers. And only one of those contributes to a deed. Bummer. Yeah, Menoras, that's not a bad idea actually. It just helps give variety and realism to it. I can guarantee I won't have the same voices for the NPCs when I go back to them, because I will forget. Right. Elk haunches. Oh, we had a slight lag there. That was interesting. Haven't got a particularly high ping. He's only 11, so it makes it nice for us both. Oh, bless. That's really good. I'm looking forward to when NJ gets a bit older, being able to take her to sort of a safe place and let her wander around, because sometimes she will sit on my lap and watch me game. So it'd be nice when we can, you know, play something together. Unless I'm streaming, I don't read the quest text. I have tried to. I used to be like that, but it gives my hands a bit of a break, and it just helps me to enjoy the stories more. And especially when if it's a new region, you really should read the quest text, because you learn a lot about Middle Earth and about the region. And I'm glad I chose to start doing that before I did my first ever run of Forod, because the stories around Forod are just brilliant, and the people are really nice as you get to know them. It works really well. So do try to read the quest text. Otherwise, you end up being very task driven, and you might enjoy it, but I prefer to now to enjoy the stories and the NPCs as much as, you know, the wandering and the questing thing. I've not been able to make any of your streams, Lieber. How are they going? Let's... got a very odd dusk settling. I think it's because I went near... No, it's just a very strange dusk. Okay. I only don't read if I've done enough quests recently. Yeah, the only other time I now don't read the quest text is if it gets really late and I just want to do things. Or if we've had a really tough day with NJ and I just, you know... I just want to be able to go and kill things. Then I might actually just ignore the quest text. But I try my best not to do that very often. Now then, one of the bounty that was posted is defeat Thauk. Ah, no, that is that one up here. Okay, I thought it was down here, but it's not. That's the logs. Okay, good. We haven't got to worry about the dangerous warg yet. Oops. Oh, I keep bringing up the character panel. I need to get back into streaming. Chill's been running me ragged on his stream. Yeah, you want to make sure that you get, if you want to be a streamer, it's good to be a guest streamer. But if you've got your own aims, then try and give some time for that as well. Yes, and don't space with the Old Republic. Don't spacebar out of cutscenes, because you may find that you suddenly come across responses that your character can give that you weren't aware existed before, or new screenshot opportunities that have sort of passed you by. Try to enjoy the story. It's not all about kill, shoot, move on thing. At least that's my approach anyway. even if I start a new Sith or a Jedi, for example, on the Old Republic, I still hear the quest givers out. It's just part of the story, and if you're developing a new character particularly, you're not going to know who they are or what they stand for if you're not thinking through their conversation. But someone said of me, which game was I in? It might have been the Old Republic actually, that I roleplay my characters more than others. Oh, hello. Have you ever seen me post a screenshot? I have been failing on social media to the degree of I don't spot much of what other people do because I haven't got the brain space for it at the moment. I have now started getting more into the habit of looking at certain hashtags that are appropriate to the two MMOs, LOTRO and the Old Republic. So if you are posting and we're looking for logs, I think we have to go really around the corner for them, and you're using the Switor hashtag, then I will probably at some point see it, but no, I haven't. Oh, hi Marrow, you just walked in at exactly the wrong moment. I have to be able to progress the Evendim storyline, I have to kill bears. And I'm already wondering, what am I gonna do? Do I avoid Evendim on my Bjornings? I don't know. Reported for bear abuse. Yep. I did think earlier, Marrow's not in the room, I must be safe. Not the cub. I know, but they're aggressive cubs. If they were just yellows, it wouldn't matter, but they will attack you. Right, how are we doing on the bear quest here? We have enough bears, but I need to get past these other aggressive ones to get to where the logs are. And that bear's going to attack me anyway. Yeah. I'm not going to pop up in the hashtags, I don't post in them. Do you post screenshots, Lieber, then? I don't know. I do know some people who do play the Old Republic don't use their hashtags. And that's fine. People play games how they want and they use social media how they want, and if it's doing what they want to do, then that's fine for them, you know. It's not up to me to tell somebody else how to use Twitter. I'm just one person. We're barely getting past this quest. Oh, I thought, oh, this is like an impatient thing, but it's not. It's just a really, really obvious pun. Right, now then, I want dry logs. Oh, forest shambler. It is an elf, Menora's, but the problem is I need these dry logs that are also right near these bears. I'm not sure I have Sylvan Shadow's trait slotted either. I need to double check that. How many logs do I need? 8. Ugh. Oh, there's a few in a row up here. I can never find a good moment for a screenshot. There are loads of good moments for a screenshot. It just takes time to think about it, and not rushing from quest to quest, for example, can help with that. Ah, you injured my cat. Cat has been uninjured. Right. The stealth ability, and I've sometimes used it on my Hobbit, is good on the one hand, but on the other hand, it takes forever to get anywhere. If you're, because I've never played Burglar, but when you're stealth using Hobbit stealth, it's like tiptoeing at the slowest possible place. Pace, sorry, not place. Yes, thank you. Feel free to make any more bear puns that you want. Right, now then. Getting away from these bears, the next thing we need from Ost Forod, we still need the elk haunches. And we need to defeat some tomb robbers. I spotted a tomb robber. Yes, and an elk for that matter. Hi Nelnardis! Good to see you. We're going very, very slow in stream today. Not exactly the most action-packed one, but people have been keeping me entertained with their chatting, so that's all good. I belong to a kinship of professional punsters. At least we've only got one in the room. If we had, I always forget which Twitter account she's actually, what her Twitter account actually is, but we have a character called Melinan who comes to my Smuggler Saturdays and sometimes pops in to my LOTRO streams as well, and she also puns like crazy. I don't know whether you two know each other. Looks like you're in the same place as last week. No, it's just that a lot of Evendim looks very, very similar. So we're dealing with Ost Forod, which we were not in last week, and dealing with stuff up here. Whereas I think before we were between High King's Crossing and Tinadir, so we'd done some of this. And at the start of the stream, Nelnardis, we did Til Ruinen. There we go. Looks like you're in the. You barely moved up. Thank you. And Mel, yes, we're in the same kin. Oh well, that explains a lot. I don't mind. But pun humour is an acquired taste. We need one more elk haunch. Kodiak pictures. Oh my life! I can't keep pace with this. Right, that's all the elk haunches. Yay! We can stop defeating nature and go against humanoids instead. In fact, I think they are just all humans. Yeah, even Minora's is despairing. I might actually replay Bjorning and make my first female character. I have roughly a 50-50 split between male and female characters. Just that I'm not currently... my Smuggler Saturday is a female character. But my main is a male hobbit, and obviously this guy is a male elf. Can't get that last one. I wouldn't worry about it. If you miss one pun joke out of my entire stream when I don't make the puns, then you'll have only missed out on a small proportion of what usually happens. Oh, is Arkasaur in the room? If you're on your own channel there, Arkasaur, thank you, I really appreciate that. Oh, and I have now drafted my next part of my crafting guide for LOTRO, and in it I link to Arkasaur, who has, I think it's just arkasaur.nl, who has some crafting gathering maps on his website. His? I think it's a he. Excuse you if I get... Hi Arkasaur! Thanks for hosting, that's really appreciated. Yes, I had a quick look at those crafting maps, and they're now on my draft post that has gone out to patrons, and so that will be part 3 of my crafting guide, which is going to be at least a 4-part series now. Will include a shout out to Arkasaur's website on where you can find your gathering nodes, especially useful for scholars where they can be a bit of a pain in the behind to find. You should give a webinar on playing the spider. Oh, it's non-stop pun fest here today. We still have. I'm getting so distracted by chat. I'm trying to now look for. I'm still looking for tomb robbers. There's one in the knelt down. I bet we're still miles off. Oh, we're getting a third of the way, maybe, to the Slayer deed. They are all over. Oh yeah, that would be. I mean, it's not expected, Archosaur, but it's appreciated if you will. There's a lot left to write. Is that a tomb robber? Yes. There's a lot left to write in the crafting guide. You don't realise quite how much there is in an aspect of a game until you attempt to put it down in writing. And then for my sins, I need to do exactly the same exercise for the Old Republic as well. Yay. Ah, lovely purple dusk in Evendim. There we go. Just grabbing screenshots while I can. Great. Okay, so we've now done the first 4 quests to start appeasing the folks of Ost Forod. That the rangers might actually be bothered about honouring their side of an ancient bargain. I won't pick up that gathering node simply because I don't want to keep fighting elk for the rest of the stream just because I want crafting materials. However, because I have the Tomb Robber Slayer deed to do at some point, although if you want to try and do the entire deeds of Evendim, which I have not managed yet, I've yet to find the instance, and it might be because it's a Fellowship instance, where you have to find the dead, because actually you can go through the whole of Evendim, and clear most of the quests in Illuminas, and not come across any dead. So I don't know where those instances are or how they're triggered, for example. Dear, dear. He does not want to fight elk. Nope. On the plus side, I've gained crafting materials for one of my Lobi tailors. Rep items. Facepalm for Lieber. If you do that to every pun, Lieber, you might end up with a bruised face. So I'd advise you keep your own face palming to a minimum. Right, okay, so who are you? Ballard Wilmer. Oh look, and we found no sign of boar in Evendim. That's good. That triggers that off as well.
This is intolerable.
Ost Allen instance for the dead. Oh hi Nettle Brew. I've seen you in chat, but I try not to sort of call people out if they're just lurking. Instance finder. Ah, okay. But in the Evendim ones are like 270 kills. I bet you have to do that instance over and over and over again to be able to clear that deed down. These are very nice haunches. Why, thank you very much. Looks like the elk had plenty of plants to feed upon this fall. Should I facepalm Findler instead? I'm not going to pass comment on that question.
A lovely day, isn't it?
No boars! No boars at all! How odd, Ayrhir! Now, you really looked for them, right? You didn't just waste time doing errands or working on some craft or other, right? No, I trust you, but this means I'll have to do without a delicious Evendim boar steak, and that just won't do.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
And sorry, is Marrow still in the room? I can't see him, so I might get away with this. Well, we must not let life's day-to-day upsets get us, Ayrhir. There may not be any boars in Evendim, but they say there are great numbers of bears throughout the hills of Tirnfonech, and especially Nan Orngan to the east. He stepped out for a moment. Yes, not that, I mean, I like him in the room, but I get to collect some bear meat without any guilt. Bear steaks, while still delicious, are certainly no match for a sizzling boar steak. My friend Ronald Dwyer once went on great length about the similarities between these two words, you know, boar and bear. But I must confess that I do not share his same love for words. Words are often an inconvenience and get in the way when you are trying to express yourself, to get to the real meat of an idea, if you will. The meat in question here, for example, is certainly a choice of cut of bear meat. Bring me back several cuts and I will share them with some of my neighbours. There will be a little bit of coin in it for you, and we can mourn the absence of boar over delicious bear steak. How does that sound? So yeah, one of the easiest quests, do nothing for half an hour and turn in a quest. Well, kind of. Right. So, quest givers. You know, he'll show up the moment they start killing them. You're probably right, Minora's probably right. This is a very boring quest line. Right. I have not made a drink for a bit. Maybe after I've turned these quests in, I should go and make a drink.
What is this world coming to?
They chose the path they wanted to walk, each and every one of them. This is tomb robbers. They took greed and fortune over an honest living. Those of us who remain here, who have suffered but remain just, will now have the food we need. I need to capture FJ snorting as a sound effect. Oh, dearie me. That's not difficult. I can create a moment of it after stream if I decide I want to demean myself enough. I think since having a kid, you're just so used to making sound effects, and then you forget most normal adults don't go around going. I'm not exactly a normal adult.
Me to my misery?
These are perfect, nice and large with only small nicks and tears. I can make enough blankets to keep us all warm for the entire winter with these. Amazing how many bears you have to kill before you can get enough hides. It's like there's a boar quest in Breland, and it's like you need to collect 10, it might be, heads of pigs, and not every pig you kill has a head, which is odd. Yeah, you can find some pigs to snort with. Oh, therein lies a way of talking that I could actually would suddenly make this
Woe to me.
not exactly family friendly, let's say. Right, okay. We will still need to gather more wood in order to make it through the winter, but it's nice to see the wood pile grow for the first time in a long time. And basil gummage. Basil? And no, I mean the normal is a term that a group of people agree between those people that they are normal. Therefore, if a bunch of us strange folk get together, then we might be strange people on the outside, but in the circle we are normal. Hey! It's funny when you're younger and every adult is normal and boring, then you find out the truth. And then you don't know how to react. Yeah. True, I have done many boring and normal looking things in life, but yeah. NJ has no hope of being anything like normal.
What can I do for you?
The townsfolk have spoken well of you. I believe I may have been too harsh before. Your intentions seem genuine enough. Perhaps it is our time to step up now.
Stay a moment.
Oh, what did we do there? Deed completed. Warden of Evendim. Compassion. I don't even know which traits I've got equipped in here. Wisdom, obviously. Charity, idealism, patience, and zeal. Subjective choices. I don't know if there's a right or wrong. Probably not at this stage. Maybe later on. Wait till you're a grandparent, then you get to act any way you want in public. I already do act any way I want in public. That's not massively inappropriate. I just don't feel restricted. And plus, grandparents. I've got NJ is 15, coming up 16 months at the end of this month. I've got a ways to go before I'm a grandparent. Oh, there we go. Actually, that's the first stage of the Evendim stuff. Okay, cool. You have shown that the Rangers are serious in restoring the pact between us. It is now time that we step up here and honour our end of the agreement. We said we would watch over Evendim from the north, guard the trade routes with Forachel, and ensure the enemies of the Rangers did not enter from those lands. They have entered and are already here, and that much we cannot change, but we can drive them back out. Speak with my associates around town, the same ones you helped prepare for winter. They each have been tasked with scouting a threat. They will know more about what to do next. Right. Been going nearly 2 hours and I need a top up drink, so I'll quickly catch up on chat and then I should go and make a drink, which gives everyone else a chance to do likewise. Need to find your kind of not normal then. Yeah, I mean, like tends to attract like, so depending on who you associate with online, for example, you might find those not normal people for you. Nobody judges you, they just figure you're old and crazy, which is great for like if you are in fact old and crazy. So it works out, doesn't it? Hi Terry Adwin, you've managed to log in at a time when I have no drink in my bereft LOTRO mug. So I need to go, and Marrow's going to come back in time for me to have to kill more bears. Shame. Right, my throat is getting quite dry, so I'm going to go make a drink. Everyone else get the kettle on. I will put my AFK on here, so if someone new comes in and says, why are we streaming the door, then we'll know why. But I will be back in less than 5 minutes, so I'll be back when I've actually made my drink. See you in a bit. Okay, that's impressive. I don't think I've seen that many flames the moment I come back to the chat. Tell them it's a stream of FJ's favourite band. Can anyone guess FJ's favourite band? That's going to be a problem. Had to get a banana because I've gone really hungry. Eating on stream's acceptable, right? Right. I would say the Doors. A very, very quiet band. I wouldn't expect anyone to resist. Not when you got Nelnardis Menoras and Ismaro's in the room. Usually he triggers off some flames as well. Not this time. Thanks, Nell. Right, so we have to speak to the same quest givers because they've decided they need to do half the work if they're going to have a 50-50 agreement with the wardens. Let me just adjust my chair. Right. I don't even know who PETA are. Right, practiced villainy.
I'm sure it will do no good.
Yay, you get
May
to
I speak with you?
kill more tomb robbers. The hills of Turnfornech are the refuge of several different tomb robber bands Ayrhir, and each of them is becoming increasingly bold. If you are sure enough in your abilities, perhaps you could venture north and west of Ost Forod into the hills to confront some of these outlaws. The tomb robbers that prowl through Turnfornech are tougher than those who inhabit Parth Adwal, and are veteran robbers and scouts who have adapted to a harsher life in the hills. You'll find veterans and scouts throughout Turnfornech, Ayrhir, and if you don't, they'll find you. I think the scouts are stealthy as well. Animal rights activists to the extreme. I'm not sure, does it count as animal abuse if they're all digital?
I don't know if you can help me.
I don't know if you can help me. You might have heard mention the roundabout town already, but if you haven't, there are goblins at Tomb Finn. A hollow a short distance north of Ost Forod. I don't think I can keep that voice up. We've had enough problems with the wargs and tomb robbers stirring up trouble in Turnfornech. We don't need goblins and boggarts as well. Oh, more boggarts. I have set aside some coins for any adventurer able enough to do something about the goblins. Are you such an adventurer, Ayrhir? If so, you'll have no trouble journeying north to Tomb Finn and defeating the goblins there. Did I ever upgrade my gear between streams? No. Probably should now that I'm level 40. Just weird personal rules. Dear grandmother had her own tea etiquette and it rubbed off. Fwyn. I don't know how to... It's some of the... I'm starting to get some of the letter combinations and how they should be pronounced. I'm not sure about UI, whether it's Fwyn or Fwyn. Fwyn sounds like a name. I know DH is a th sound. I'm slowly getting there. I finally got through reading Lord of the Rings, so now I'm reading the annexes. No, what are they called? At the end, appendices and references. I don't know how Tolkien ever had how he managed to get his head around so many details when they're not even covering most of those details in the book. It's really impressive. You should be fine on armor until you start doing instances. Yes, or higher level stuff. I think because Evendim is... I mean, we're only talking level 35-ish mobs at the moment anyway. So I'll be fine until I change regions. Boggarts thought it was a Harry Potter universe. I thought you came to the stream where we were dealing with Boggarts before. They're like tiny...
Might I take a moment of your time?
Might I take a moment of your time? I should become... I should sort of practice more and see if anyone will take me on as a voice actor. At the end of the northern road at Sirithru, there stands a gate. For many years my family has brought goods that way to trade with the snowmen of Forachel, but recently a tomb robber band has made passage nearly impossible. If you are a brave enough adventurer and true, you would surely be able to defeat the captain of that robber band and recover my trade goods that they've stolen. Just follow the road through Tirnforneck until you come within sight of the gates of Sirithru. You should be careful, for the robber band has held the road for a very long time. I still see rubber band. Does anybody else see rubber band with that one? Rigging Amora can be done without good armour. And well, certainly my only out that has got through Eregion at the moment was so over leveled it made absolutely no difference at all. For every book there is at least another book with information the author left out. Yes, and I'm starting to try and think about that for the characters I'm writing about now. The reason I haven't written any LOTRO fanfiction for a bit is I'm carefully trying to think through 2 or 3 stages of Kathir's journey, and trying to think about what's going on around him in that. So although I haven't written it down, but it is a lot of information that you're just trying to, so you understand the events that are going on around him, because no one person in Middle-earth, or any other scenario for that matter, is operating out of a context, so it is tricky. Hi Gidrian, I don't know whether I know you by another name somewhere else, but yeah, I totally agree there.
I'll not be ignored.
I'll not be ignored. Have you encountered the fearsome white wargs of Tirnforneck yet, Ayrhir? The creatures are vicious, bloodthirsty beasts, and they strike without warning. A few nights ago I was taking in the air around northern wall of Ost Forod, and I thought I saw something gleaming in the moonlight. I wandered towards it, foolishly, so foolishly, but I was curious as to what it might be. Before too long I had strayed beneath the eaves of the forest, and had become quite turned around. Suddenly I heard a snarl from my left. As I spun to face the sound, I saw only a splash of bright white fur, matted with blood and mud. I ran, and the great brute pursued me. It sprang towards me with a great leap. I felt its hot breath steaming in the cool night air, and then lights! Lights from Ost Forod! Basil Gummidge had come with a great party and lanterns to the outskirts, and on seeing them the warg gave up his ground. Those beasts are dangerous, Ayrhir, and something must be done. Not everyone will have the bandit of a fortuitous encounter with an arbiter, you know. Benefit. If you're up to it, I would ask you defeat some of the ferocious white wargs. You'll find them throughout Tirnforneck, but especially at Duskencleft. Duskencleft. Righty-ho. And it's the closest I get. I live in Scotland, but I'm not Scottish. So. Gotta love the greetings, these locals. Oh, unfriendly man, do you think? Don't get in my way. Doesn't Tolkien Professor do in-game presentations as well? I think sometimes I see him doing as much as you can in with the stay command. Does he not do things in-game? I could be wrong, but I thought he did. He does have a stream. Yeah, I thought that was the case. So, tomb robbers. Goblins is further north, isn't it? Yes. So, if you're doing Goblin Slayer, you've got this Thamandriareth? Is it that one? Or Thamvaran? It might be Thamvaran. Could be wrong. No, it's this one. And up here, and that's your allocation of goblins for the deed. Isn't he on the official? Yes, because he's known for his knowledge, so I think he does come on LOTRO stream, but does he do his own... Does he have his own stream channel, or does he do things generally from the official LOTRO stream? There's so much going on in the LOTRO community, and it's something I've been wanting to get into, but I just don't have the time at the moment to commit to it. Practice villainy. So we want tomb robbers, specific kinds. Scouting and veterans. Oh, and bears. Yes, we need more bears. Sorry, Marrow. But folks have to eat. Right, the bears are around here anyway, so let's get the food from the bears first. Yes, bears also have to eat. Yes, they do. But as there are no boars in the entirety of Evendim, as our very shocked hobbit learnt, we have to eat bear meat and elk meat. Oh, I wish some of these abilities could be channeled on. Oh, the wind ones can be done on movement. Whole sentences, FJ. Whole sentences. I wish some of the channeled abilities could be done while moving. Not all of them can. In fact, most of them can't, I think. As a member of the bear community, I can authoritatively say that yes, bears love to eat. Oh, well, thanks for clarifying that. I just thought they were in all this long grass because they like to munch on herbs. Mm-hmm. There is a boar in Evendim during the in their absence instance. I've not done any of the instances in Evendim, I don't think. Unless there's an enforced epic one. There's some enforced epic ones, I think, when you get towards the end of Angmar and you have to come back to Evendim. But not one where I've seen a boar. In Tuesday streams he does with his character in the Lore Hall. Yes, I forget he's got a dedicated place actually. Oh, you mean animal bears? Yes, well, bears of all kinds have to eat as well. Actually, that is in the Shire as it's in Oakbarton. Yes, it is in Oakbarton, and you can finish off some Shire deeds in and around Oakbarton. Yes, Findler, and actually a good number of people have commented on that recently. In fact, running LOTRO family is quite interesting because I'll suddenly find somebody that was like, I've just come across my old LOTRO installation. Is this community still going on? And I just ping a retweet and all of a sudden loads of people will jump on and go, yeah, there's loads going on. New expansions, new raids, there's loads. I don't think people, I think people think old game, therefore nothing happening, and it's not at all true. And, you know, if they keep going the way they are, then I might make it to Mordor in 3 or 4 years at my current rate. Oh, yay, veteran tomb robber. I'm sorry, you must die. This quest is one of the ones that's really annoying if you've not got a hunter, because you have to sort of either keep your eye really on the mini-map or be tabbing the whole time. Oh, did I miss something you said, Nell? Oh, sorry, there we go. Chat is flinging by a lot quicker, I didn't mean to miss. It can be sometimes too hard to miss. It's a sort of proof in point there, Nell. Sometimes it can be too much to try and keep up. And that sort of proved positive there. That was not meant to be a proving my point scenario. We're going to end up killing all the veterans we need, not having found the scouts yet. Yeah, it doesn't take many people to be in the chat room for it to be quite tricky to, you know, do the gaming that people are turning up for. There's a scout. So how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, not 12 or 13 maybe. And I figure sometimes I'm gonna miss things. So long as people are, I mean, if people are just chatting to each other, then that's great as well. I don't mind. Bjorning is better than everything. Having tried now Bjorning and Warden, I kind of wish I had I'd made different decisions as to who my main was. But it's because my main was a hunter, because when I first started playing LOTRO it said, this is basic! I was like, basic sounds good for a new game, let's go for basic. And I kind of wish now I had a Warden and Bjorning as my top 2. I walked straight into that one. Yes, you kind of did. Right, I'm not going to pick up Rich Iron. One of my newer characters does need it, but it's not urgent. Yes, we still need 3 more veteran tomb robbers. And I figure with the number of people in chat that people who have, I don't know, to become a Twitch partner, you have to have 75 people you know, as an average at some point in one of your streams. It's like there's absolutely no way, if you are streaming a game, that you can possibly respond to 75 people if they're chatting. So it must just be people talking to each other, and which you can do in a stream. It's not like talking to somebody in the middle of a university presentation where you'll just disrupt them. But it does mean it's probably best now, given that I think 10 is a fairly safe number that I get fairly regularly to streams. If you want me to respond to something, please @FibroJedi me, because it comes up in red text on my app here, so I will see it because it stands out. So if I miss something, it's unintentional, but if you would like me to respond, and I will do my best to do so, please @mention me, and then I will usually, depending on how distracted I am, reply to you. I don't like ignoring people. Yeah. Anyway, stop babbling, FJ. Get on with it. Right. I am still trying to find tomb robbers, aren't I? But I also need to... Oh, we can actually go this trouble Syria through. If we stick on this path, we can clear that one down. Naked bears! Hairy bears! Oh my life, you two! Is it also possible to limit the chat to sub only? It is, but I only have 1 or 2 subs at any one time. That would make for a very boring chat room. If I had a lot more people following the channel, and if it got to a certain point, then yeah, you could do that. But I think that part of keeping your viewer numbers up, certainly for me as a starter streamer, I'm still very early in my streaming journey, to be honest, is that people can chat and ask questions and talk to each other. Oh, if you had an average of 75 viewers, yes. If it was coming to that, then yes, I would limit it, definitely, because I would have no hope otherwise. I still suspect I'm not going to get that many subs until I can stream more regularly, but that's fine. I've had a couple of extra people join me on Patreon, which has been awesome. My latest blog post is now up for Patreon advanced sort of early access. Sub mode is nice only when chat is wild. Yes. Oh, are you the person I need to kill? No, you're just a named Sig that we'll probably have to kill later as well. Any more scouts? You're a scout. You better call it that. Some folks will tune in and be very disappointed. I'm trying to work out what that's in reference to there, Gidrian. I'm not going to limit chat while I'm at my current scenario, and I would have to... Because you can still have a lot of viewers, but not everyone's chatting, and there's a huge difference between the two. So at the moment I want everyone to be able to chat if they want to, and that's the way it's going to stay for quite a while. Oh, we still need to come up to this thing here. Out of interest, does Patreon take a percentage of what you earn? It's more, there's a max amount they will take from each person, so it's not a percentage, it's a small fee up to a certain value. So if one person was going to give you several £100s, to take an extreme example, it wouldn't be a huge chunk of that. They've got an upper limit how much they are, how much they'll take from your subs. So that there was a change they made actually fairly recently, so that people who have patrons or Patreon profiles, I'm trying to find the robber captain. Is he down here? Yes. Shockingly, he's called the Tomb Robber Captain. Huh. Ingenious. Just want to see who I'm going to aggro. Yes, I thought that might be the case. Let me just zap him and then I'll carry on. There we go. Fabulous. Okay. Calling the channel Bears, bearing it all and such. I'm pretty sure I won't be calling it that. At least my own one. I'm only subbed to one stream and I don't want to go crazy on subscription. Well, no, absolutely. Had someone say, is it okay if I reduce what I'm doing sort of Patreon-wise because I need the money? I'm like, don't make your life hard to support someone else. Your money is yours first, and then if you can give out of excess or not make life hard on yourself, then that's great. But you've got to manage your own finances first. When are you going to do a stream of Bear Day? Yes, I intend to. I just need to get my head around when I can do either less of a planned or not much of a forewarning of a stream happening, or when I can factor in 3 streams a week. That's my actual plan, if you like. I just want to keep the theme of this one being Lore-Master for a bit. Just wondering, because normally I prefer to do one-off donations through PayPal, and the streamer will get more out of it. There's quite a few people on Patreon. Yeah, it's not... I don't lose very much, let's say, proportionally of what my Patreons offer. PayPal themselves can be quite brutal, even though technically if you do a donation system in PayPal, you shouldn't be charged very much. It's not like paying for a service. If people are giving a gift to somebody, which I see Patreon as, people are supporting you because they want to support you. You're not providing X service for X amount of money, so it's a donation. It's a gift. Equally, PayPal etc. have to make their money, and the Patreon platform itself is free. So Patreon will also need to make money from somewhere, but they wanted to make sure that people who are using their system got as much out of it as possible. So I don't feel shortchanged by Patreon at all. think it's the exchange rate as well with PayPal. Yes, and what I've had with PayPal is what people have sometimes chosen to do is automatically say it's going to be X pounds in my case. I think Patreon, you have to, everything has to be done in dollars. But we're used to the UK to USA exchange rate sucking. I just asked my wife, you know, what's the pound value of the Patreon income this time round? Oh, I've got full bags pretty much. And given that my income, if you can call it that, from advertising, is a maximum of £15 a month. Everything else is currently Patreon, or if we get one-off donations, which we had December, maybe, then it's all, anything that we get that's extra is just a total bonus and really appreciated. So I'm not going to faff around with the odd pound here or there. Ravenous Twilight Howler. Or White Warg. I prefer Ravenous Twilight Howler. Sounds more dramatic. No, I want to use that on my cat. There you go. No, you're welcome now. You seem to be able to have more capacity for streaming than I do, and so whatever it takes for you to make a success of that, go for it. I know our actual family income scenario is not going to get a lot better until my wife can work more hours, which won't be in for another few years. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing to the best of my ability, and if people feel like they want to support, then that's great, they can. But I'm almost under strict orders from my wife not to put pressure on myself. I'm so committed to the Goblin Slayer, I've done 30 out of 90 for stage 1. Never mind. Poor Warg. White lives matter! White Wargs! Oh, that's an interesting use of that hashtag. Needs to find more. There's a signature warg around here somewhere. If wanting to support you, is it better through Patreon or sub here? Financially speaking, Patreon, because Twitch take 50%, but I suspect the only way I'll be able to grow subs is if I have subs. So thinking more longer term, technically here, so there's no easy answer. In terms of immediate money, I get a lot more proportionally because Patreon do not take 50%, they take a maximum amount, whereas Twitch do take 50%. But yeah, I mean, it's only guesswork about me not getting subs because I don't have any, but it's the best I can come up with at the moment. I really do need to get back to Ost Forod soon because I need to clear out my inventory because I clearly didn't do it last time I went. Are you the signature mob? You are! Yes, Thauk, go! Before you aggro the goblin as well. No, I'm going to heal that from you. Oh, and now I'm being aggro. Great. Being a Lore-Master is all well and good until you get all the aggro, and then you're having to fight everything off. Oh, apparently my fate is okay, because I've managed to regenerate that health. Have I done 12 of these? No, I've done 10. 50%, yes! It is, and you what you have with the Twitch thing, because it's also paid via PayPal, is that, say someone subscribes for $5 to Twitch, At my level, I think when you become partner, the percentages are... they switch. But certainly at my level, with my audiences... Twitch take... so if it's in dollars for a start, so Twitch... so it's $5. They take half of it, that's $2.50. And then PayPal take their fee, so you don't actually get 50%. Nelnardis, it's possible to get 40-60% days down the line for only partners and top streamers. Yes, there we go. That's what I thought was the case. And I won't be... I think the only thing I have to do for partner is get 75 people to a stream. Ha 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 ha. I'm in no hurry for that. And my wife would only tell me off if I did try and hurry for it. So my actual focus, if I have one... oh, I've killed all the goblins I need to for that quest. What am I outstanding doing? Ballard, Wilma and the defeat white. We need more white wargs. Is to encourage more people to follow me on Twitch, because if you can... oh, before I carry on talking, thanks Vindala for your chats and for your YouTube interaction. I've really appreciated that. Look after yourself though. What was I saying? Yes, so my actual... I'm not measuring stats like crazy and overanalyzing anything, including on my website. If I can get people to follow me more on Twitch, then more people get notified I'm streaming, and then eventually you'll end up with more people coming to streams. I'm going to go back down the valley, because I thought there were more white... oh no, I will follow that marked area. Because so the more people are following, the more people are likely to come to your stream. So eventually, you might get 75 people. I don't think you have to do it over a lot. It's 75 average, though. Yeah, you'd need a few streams with that amount. You're quite right, and that's just bonkers. I mean, I think wasn't that one of the aims of, was it Feckless's stream? Someone with the reach of Feckless, and who was the other person who was streaming with? He was streaming with them, and they were aiming to get something like 75 to a stream, and they have greater reach and influence than I do. That doesn't take a lot when it comes to Twitch, I have to say. Alright, leave me alone. Ah, there's a white warg. No, it's not. It's a bear. Oh, how many? I need 3 more white wargs. There's one. Oh, it's crafting bonus weekend, is it? Okay. Totally missed that, despite this really obvious crafting bonus weekend buff up here. Bit slow off the mark today. So yes, if you're... I'm supposed to put on one of their advices they give you is encourage people in chat to follow you on Twitch. I will never remember, and I don't want it to become a sales pitch thing. I want people to enjoy chatting and hopefully what I'm doing. Okay, look after yourself, Menoras. Take care. I'll see you another time. But to use like auto announcements to say please do follow me. But if you're in the room and you're watching and you feel like you can support, then please do follow me on Twitch. That's the free way of following somebody, not the subscription way. Is that going to aggro the bear? No. Good. I can see another white warg. Oh, I don't need another white warg. I bet I didn't milestone Ost Forod either. No, that would have involved careful planning ahead of time, and I didn't do that. Right, let us ride upon our steed. I need to get rid of junk. One streamer's like, one of the things you must do when streaming is commit to inventory management. Yes, does that look very well managed to you? No, it's because it's not. Not this bag, anyway. This is my crafting bag. That's my buff foods bag, and that's a white warg. This is my task items bag, which is now probably not correct because I've picked up some more stuff. And that's potions and stuff. But my main bag is clearly not at all managed. Right. It's rich iron, right. Sometimes people just use sometimes I tell people just use the Amazon Prime. Might get some money back from Amazon. How? That's an interesting thought. I don't understand the mechanics of that. Oh wait! Isn't it like Twitch Gold where they can... There's an income stream. Oh no, that's YouTube. I'm thinking YouTube. If people use YouTube TV, the ads there generate more income than than web ads. If you have an Amazon Prime, you can link your Twitch account and sub a Twitch streamer for free. Oh, can you? That's interesting. I'm not an Amazon Prime person, but didn't realise that existed. I bet you've had a chance a lot more focused in looking at the different options. I just want to enjoy streaming at the moment. I would love to grow subscribers here, but my focus really has to be on ensuring people are having a good having a good time. The only catch is it has to be manually renewed every month. Ah, so people have to remember to do it. Yeah, that's not as a reliable an income source. Not because people don't want to support you, but because they won't remember it needs manually renewing. Right, before I talk to the quest givers, apart from the fact my throat's really dry because I've not been drinking, I need to get rid of some trash. I think the vendors are up here, along with the crafting area. Excuse me. Right. Oh, there were some over there, but that's fine.
What can I do for you?
Right. Long war axe of fleetness. Unless it looks good, which it doesn't. I don't want it for my Bjorning. I don't have a captain, so I don't need halberds. However, I do need shinies. And brimstones for my metalsmith. Mathams for my new hobbit warden. Fine fur. Must be a task item here. Surely. Pardon me. Well kept Mathams. Oh, I won't bother with the scroll cases on stream, else I'll be spending an hour after stream mailing things to other characters. And my bag 1 is already very, very, very full. Right, okay. Quest givers. Yay.
I'm sorry. Did you need something?
You have returned from Tomb Fwyn. That means you have defeated Thauk. Amazing, Ayrhir. If you report to Basil Gummidge, the Arbiter here in Ost Forod, he'll give you your reward. Thauk will trouble us no more. I cannot believe it. I just sell all my scroll cases now. I need to have a look out for certain metalsmith ones where I'm missing, like tool recipes, for example. I've got more characters than I have crafting outs, at least, so I don't have to do it on every single one. I add my scroll to the filter when I got 50 of them. 50? Oh my life. You know you've got, or at least you've got a pretty darn good chance of getting all the recipes if you've got 50, a stack of 50.
Oh, can't you leave me to my misery?
Thank you for this news, Ayrhir. There will always be tomb robbers in these lands, but perhaps you helped lessen their numbers or influence somewhat. Take this reward with my thanks. 50 is one stack. The stacking numbers vary item to item, so I get really confused. I know crafting ones are 500, but other things like task items, which I wish stacked more. I really wish task items stacked more, and rep. Oh, do rep items stack more than 100 now? I don't think they do. I could be wrong. I think out loud, which gives me a good chance of being wrong. Tomb Friend sounds dreadful, Ayrhir. I'm glad you were able to defeat some of the goblins there, but I don't know if the Hollow will ever be the pretty place it once was. The corruption the goblins have wrought sounds severe. Take this reward, Ayrhir, and let us both wish for the day that Tomb Friend will be restored. I only saved the cook scrolls since they seem to be a bit more rare. I actually usually struggle to get... I mean, yes, I don't see cook ones very often, but I'm not exactly committed to cooking. But tailor ones don't seem to crop up that often, and it's the single-use recipes I have to keep my eye open for, because when I'm crafting certain things, I don't realise until it disappears it's a single-use one, because I don't read it properly. Rep items stack up to 100. Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought was going on in my vault. Cooking is so tedious. Yeah, I would have to sort of multitask to do it. I do have a cook, but I keep wondering, should I just change profession? But she's level 25 or something, and I don't want to go back and start all over again.
Greetings.
And you don't really need lots of... I think I needed some foods to get me through the instances at the end of Angmar, but I didn't have to have amazing foods. Stuff picked up during quests was enough, I think, along with obviously crams and just your normal potions as well. So you defeated Thauk, then you deserve this reward, Ayrhir. That bounty has remained unclaimed for a long time. I thank you on behalf of the law-abiding folk of Ost Forod. And as for the ones that aren't law-abiding, well, who cares?
How can I be of service?
It will be some time before trade with Forachel resumes, but you have taken a step on the road for all of us now, Ayrhir, and I thank you for it. And the last guy is down here.
Why are you bothering me?
You survived the encounters with the White Wargs, Ayrhir. I am quite glad to see. Good work. One day, perhaps, the traveller will be able to walk in these lands without fear or danger. One day, perhaps. For now, I will give you this reward, and hope that day comes soon, rather than late. And now we can go back to assist Clark Standish again. Where was he? Over here. Yeah, we're now nearly at... What percentage is that with the Wardens? 78% when we were very low on it at the start of the stream. You're Clark Standish, that's right.
Will you let me speak my piece?
Will you let me speak my piece? I don't think I can keep up that voice for 3 paragraphs. A few days ago I encountered a band of tomb robbers outside Tomb Friend, rejoicing over a haul of relics they had stolen from some Dunedain tomb. Well, you can be sure that I ran them off, but when I caught up to them there was no sign of the satchel over which they had gloated. I think one of them dropped the satchel of stolen relics during the chase, but it was too winded to go down. I was too winded to go down and look for it. You can be sure that their allies will return for it if we don't recover it first. Tomb Friend is north of Ost Forod, I know, because we've just been there, and full of goblins. Look for the satchel somewhere among the bushes southwest of Tomb Friend, possibly in the break in the hills called the Dusken Cleft. The satchel of relics may have fallen somewhere there. At least only one thing we have to do, which is an improvement. I don't think we've got much more of this particular quest line to do. Once you sort of restore the pact between the Rangers and Ost Forod. And then Which is where, and then the next stream, I think we end up going over to Eminwal, Uyal. Anyone who know how to pronounce UIAL? Put it in phonics. Where we have Gorodon and all manner of other creatures. Giants are up there too. I'm not sure I want to deed the giants at this level though. My guardian did not fare well. Right, back to Dusk and Cleft, that's where we're going. I should have put the heating on when I went downstairs. I think my hands are hurting more because I've been trying to keep the heating off longer. Especially when I got the house to myself. I think I always just say Yule. That's not a bad... It's definitely a worthwhile option. Emin Yule. Although it makes you think Christmas, but hey. We're nearly getting towards a new daytime. Most of this stream I think has been nighttime. Easy on my eyes anyway. I don't know whether it's been any good for anyone else. Is that gold or is it bountiful iron? That's fine, I'll let it be. Right, I have gone too far south and I need to go more up this way. My eyes are instantaneously drawn. Oh, that's the road to Farchel. I still have not got another character close to going to that region yet, which is really annoying. I really like Farchel. Just about to go to Misty on my Guardian, and I'm still on the road to Farchel. See? It's like automatically driven towards it. Farchel. I don't find it that bad. I've heard other people call it that as well, but I actually did not mind. It's the first snowy area in any game where I have not really wanted the end to come as fast as possible. Misty is a bit unforgiving. Hoth in the Old Republic I really hate now. Really bad on the eyes. No, I absolutely love Farchel. If such a thing is possible, I'm desperate for my next character to get that high, because... And I did not mind that the deeds took a long time to do either. I just absolutely... I love the story, the stories that you come through the people, the fact that you start as outsider, and you earn their trust gradually. You don't even start as outsider in the Lonelands when you probably ought to start as outsider. But no, I definitely love it. And apparently so does Secret, so yay! I don't know what there is not to like about it. Maybe it's just people don't like a lot of snow and ice. Right, I don't think I can ride through this much more. No, I'm gonna have to battle my way through. I hate boggarts. I like the first part of it, there's so much travelling. Level too low when you try to level there. Yeah, my approach to LOTRO has always been be a few levels over it. Then you still get some reward through the XP system and occasional piece of gear depending. Am I near this satchel now? Yes, should be. Satchel of relics, there it is. But it's not too hard a challenge. So I did use Forachel to level my hunter during what was for me the Angmar debacle. Some of the instances at the end of Angmar, I even with inspiration, I couldn't solo, and I should have been able to. So I went to Forachel, tried again, still couldn't really do it, and then ended up going and doing a good chunk of Moria, and then I managed it. So, yes. Just because it says solo on the tin doesn't mean FJ can do it on his own. I'm not what I would call a skillful gamer. I have to play the system in my favour. So using gearing or buffs or over leveling, which is at least an option in LOTRO. That way I can enjoy it rather than feel like I have to hard fight through things. And still 8, 9 levels over the epic when I was trying to finish Angmar, I still did have some complications. So yes. I'm not sure I want to stream that particular quest line, because not because of the combat, but because of the amount of travelling you have between different regions and different NPCs. Spend half your time going places, which is not too bad on a hunter, because you can just use your number of guides that you pick up to teleport around the map. Not going to be the case when my Guardian gets that far. Right. Now, can I attempt to skirt around the edge of these hills? Yes, I think so. Okay. I thought I was going to be able to go quite a bit longer on my stream, sort of energy-wise. Am I being attacked by another warg? Yes. Because I have the house to myself tonight. Like, totally to myself. But I think my throat is starting to sound a little bit gravelly. Okay, I can't see any wargs, but a couple of those were stealthed. Oh, come on, that was hardly a drop. And I've gone far too far, haven't I? Drat. I think if I come around this Angmarim camp here, I can just rejoin the path. I think. Yes, should be able to. Oh, ow. Good, good, good. Anything interesting? Rep items, always handy. Start saving rep items for other characters once you get so far in reputation with the Wardens. There's no point you using all the rep items you pick up because there's a lot of quests that will give it. Although I've only got the small ones here, when you get up to here I think you get some of the larger rep giving items, I think. Clark Standoffish. Hello, Clark. Ugh. Why did he stop running?
Tell me what you need or move along.
You found the satchel of relics? Thank you, Ayrhir. I'll have this delivered to Astiol at the ranger camp right away. Take this reward for your trouble. If only I had thought to return to Dusk-and-Cleft right away, it wouldn't have been necessary. Alas, I was winded after the chase, and did not consider it until I had come home. And then we can go back to our Basil Gummidge. I wonder if this means we've actually completed this quest chain. That would be a nice stopping point. Basil? Excuse me.
What can I do for you?
The North is secure, and we can honestly say that we now have done our part. We are not yet done, though. The years of hardship created another problem, which it is time to finally address. Ooh, I don't remember this. What? I don't think.
Would you do
Ha 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 ha. We're not starting this quest chain tonight. No. I'm not doing Rantost at the end of a stream. Not a chance. I'll read it, but no. We have now both honoured our sides of the pact. After ignoring it so long, it feels good to have that relationship restored. I hope that in future we can build and make it grow and flourish. I am prepared to take a large step towards that. I know where the tomb robbers make their primary camp. It is a small island at the north end of the lake called Rantost. Many of the relics they have pilfered are kept there until they can find buyers for them. I imagine the history they are keeping there is immense and invaluable to the rangers. Months ago I sent 3 of my men to join the tomb robbers. They are now on the Isle of Rantost, still working for me. I am now willing to use them and have them expose themselves and challenge Rantost for the rangers. Seek them out and they will tell you what to do next. We won't. It is tonight, it's nearly 10 PM here. Yeah, the reason that is quite a challenging island for me, so I will want to gear up and have more control of certain elements of my pain than I currently do. So what I think is the most wise thing for me to do is probably call it, because Rantost is far too challenging. But it's been a great stream, folks. Thank you for the amount of chats and people coming in, and for Archosaur hosting on his channel. That's been really appreciated. Next stream will be Saturday for Smuggler Saturday. I'm still holding out for potentially trying to do another random unplanned. I'm going to run a random LOTRO stream on a day that I haven't done one before. But you will hear about that at the very last minute at some point. And my next Warden YouTube video, if not tomorrow, should be out on Saturday once I've done editing and cover and back cover of it. But yes, this is a good point to stop. We can pick up at Rantost next time. There are a few lead-in quests on the Isle of Rantost, which is challenging enough, and then there's an instance that ends that quest chain before you go off to Emin Yule. That's quite hard for me, quite a hard instance. So I will want to improve my Lore-Master's gear probably right now, before we deal with Rantost. But thanks so much everyone for coming out and for making it a really enjoyable stream. So I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day, evening, night, whichever time zone you happen to be in. Make sure you look after yourselves, folks, and I will be back on Saturday. So take care, everybody.